just want to do a quick update on Bitcoin, and I want to cover how we framed our last two trades. So the first one was a short on the 5-minute, which I'll show you in just a second, and this morning we got filled on our hourly short that we had orders resting for up here. So our short target from last night, let's see, were these lows. Now, in my opinion, all stops have been trailed up to here. So this is where all your stops are resting. And now, after the move from last night where it fell short, we have stops resting here and could be here as well. So I think that the liquidity, or the amount of stops resting here, has increased. Now, why would we get short again up here? Why did we have orders resting up here? Well, last night on the 5-minute, I had a feeling or an idea that these stops here were going to get ran and traders were going to get trapped. Now, what I wanted to see was some sort of, maybe like a small swing failure. But we had the stop placed accordingly, and then it did survive. So yeah, here we got long through these highs right there, and you can see traders did indeed get trapped and it sold off. Now we had the other short resting just above it, the 65.40 area, and that is why we had the short, or the stop loss so tight, because I didn't want to risk this just getting run, this one getting filled, and if that got ran as well to the stop, then we'd take a lot of damage. So let's see, sells off, traders are trapped, all the longs are trapped here, grinds back up so that some longs can recover here, and then it starts selling off towards the target. Now we fell just short here last night, and after that rejection we pretty much closed the entire position. I did leave a small position open to see if it could make one last push down, which it did not. So after we saw this move coming up, we just closed on market. Now, why would we get short again? Well, like I had explained earlier, I feel as though there's far more liquidity down here than there was before. So we have stops resting here, we have stops resting here, potentially here. So this is a really good area to target. Can Bitcoin just push up here? Of course. Now, will I ride it all the way up there and hope that my stop survives? No. This candle right here is the kind of rejection you want to see. Going into getting filled here, we had a stop just above that impulse candle there. Came pretty close, but it survived. Sold right off. That's what you want to see. I don't particularly want to put my stop here and have this trickle all the way back up and stop me out. So if this does get back above the daily level and starts heading towards my entry, I'll watch to see if I need to close. Now, we did take some off right there, and that's just your next level down. That's not something everybody needs to do. That's kind of how I learned, was to always trade for the next level. Well, I also have a bigger idea that, like I explained, where liquidity is resting here as well. So you kind of just have to play the market as it goes. You know, as the price action starts to develop, if we start seeing a turn up and, you know, we think stops are going to get ran here, my stop is still resting here. I haven't moved it. So my stop is not here, but I still do not want to see price go anywhere back above there. In fact, I don't want to see it go back above that daily level at all. So really what we want to see is price move down through where we sold at there, and then just make its way down and tap this liquidity. Now, I do think that if it gets down here, it's probably going to sell off a lot lower. But this is the trade setup I'm not worried about trying to trade from here to here or the lows to the highs. I'm looking for profitable setups that make sense to me and aren't just using one giant macro directional bias. Although every trade obviously it starts with a daily and weekly bias. I was thinking yesterday we may get some sort of inside failure here, but it did close below, and then today it threatens some sort of like engulfing candle but sells off. So it's just something to watch. This is a really volatile area. There's no reason to be getting long here expecting crazy moves, and there's no reason to be trying to target the lows, the absolute low. So in my opinion, it's better to just trade level to level. You can see that price really hasn't come back and back tested this area yet, so I'm expecting that. And if it breaks down through here, I'm expecting probably the lows to get run. So that's about it for those two shorts, and so now we're just watching to see what happens. But that's kind of how we framed those two trades. The 5-minute one was definitely a higher risk trade, but we did have a very tight stop on it, and I was expecting traders to get trapped there. I wasn't really expecting this to squeeze up overnight, but that happens a lot, just so traders can get back out. And that's right into the daily low, and you can see it hit it to the tick there. So we will keep you posted on the progress of this trade. Hopefully we get some sort of breakdown later on today and sell off. Usually when you see some sort of candle like this on the hourly or on the 5-minute, these are going to get filled back in. This is almost like a big giant gap. But that's it for now. Thank you.